Hello students, today we are going to start another chapter of your book as Chand, Units and Measurement, Module 3. The objective of today's chapter is number 1, accuracy and precision of measuring instrument. Number 2, least count of measuring instruments. Then we'll study about errors and its types. We'll also study combination of errors in mathematical operations. Then significant figures and rules for counting number of significant figures, and also we'll study rounding off and order of magnitude. Order of magnitude is new term for you. We'll come to know at the end of the chapter. Now topic for the day, it includes accuracy and precision, least count of measuring instrument, and errors and its types. So these three are the topics which we are going to cover in today's lecture. First of all, we should know about what is accuracy. Students, accuracy means the extent to which a measured value agrees with the standard or true value of measurement. True value is the exact value and measured value means the value which you get after performing the experiment. With accuracy, one more term comes, that is precision. What is precision? Precision is the extent to which a given set of measurements of the same quantity agree with their mean value, with its own value. I will explain it from this figure. If you see this diagram carefully, here is a target board and you know that we have to hit at the center, which is called bullseye. Here you can see that every time the dart is pointing at the different positions. It means it has low accuracy. It is not accurate. It will be accurate only when it hits the target at the center. Also it is low in precision. Why? Because every time it is striking at different position. In the second figure you can see that low accuracy and high precision. Why? Low accuracy means it is not hitting at the center of the target. High precision, why? Every time it is striking at the same place, although it is not the true, but every time it is striking at the same place. In the third figure, if you observe it carefully, it is most of the targets are at the center. It means it has a high accuracy, but low precision. Why? Because some of the targets are away from the center point. In the last case, if you see that it is high in precision because every time it is striking at the same point, but it is high in accuracy also because it is striking at the center of the target. So this is the difference between accuracy and precision. Okay, let's take another example. We know that boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. If I calculate the boiling point of water with two different thermometers, let it be thermometer A and this is thermometer B, and for the first time it gives me value 100.1 degrees Celsius, 99.8 degrees Celsius, 100.5 degrees Celsius, 99 degrees Celsius and 100.0 degrees Celsius. If you see carefully, these two values are very close to the true value. And in the second case, thermometer B gives 99.1, 99.0, 99.1, 99.2, 99.1 degrees Celsius. Every time it gives me value which is close to its own value, 99. It means it is away from the true value. It is not giving us the true value. So this is called accuracy and this is called precision. Thermometer B is precise, whereas thermometer A is accurate because it gives values closer to the true value. But the question arises, can a measurement be accurate as well as precise? The answer is in the fourth part. If you got every time the correct value, it means you have an instrument which is highly accurate and highly precise. So what is the significance of this accuracy and precision? You should choose an instrument which is highly accurate and highly precise, then you will get every time the correct results. Now what is the difference between accuracy and precision? Accuracy indicates how close a measurement is to the correct or accepted value. Corrected or accepted value means true value. How close you got that value. Precision indicates the closeness of two or more measurements to each other, where same instrument giving same results every time. It means it is precision. Your measurement will be close to the standard measurement. Your measurement will be similar every time you measure. And last, accuracy is not dependent on precision, and precision is not dependent on accuracy. These are the summarized difference between accuracy and precision. Now the next topic is least count of measuring instruments. Accuracy depends on least count of measuring instrument. So what is this least count? Least count of an instrument is the least measurement that can be taken by that instrument accurately. What is the minimum measurement which you can take by that instrument accurately? Here we'll explain with taking example. I am taking two scales, scale A and scale B. If you observe it carefully, this is total 15 centimeters and 0 to 1, this is 1 centimeter. Same scale here also 1 centimeter. Here number of divisions between 0 to 1 is 5. Okay, and here number of division between 0 and 1 is 2. So what is the minimum value of this first division? Simply I will divide 1 by 5 and answer will be 0.2 centimeter, which is called its least count. On the other hand, to find its least count, I will divide 1 by 2 and I got the result 0.5 centimeter, which is the least count of scale B. Now you can assume that lesser will be the least count, more will be the accuracy. If I have to measure a line which is this much, I can give the value, yes, it is 2.1, 2 and 3, 2.3. But what will happen if I am doing the same line here? It is 2 point, but nothing is here. It is equal to, because its least count is 0.5, it can't give you the value less than 0.5. So in your book it is given that what is least count? Least count is defined as the least measurement that can be made by that instrument accurately. They have taken two examples, one of vernier caliper and second of screw gauge. The least count of vernier caliper is value of one main scale division divided by total number of vernier scale division, and it comes out to be 0.1 mm. On the other hand, for screw gauge, least count is equal to pitch divided by total number of divisions on head scale, and the answer is 0.01. Now for the screw gauge, accuracy is 0.001 mm, which means 1 part in 100, whereas in vernier caliper accuracy is only 1 part in 10, because it is 1 by 10, 1 part in 10. Hence we find that accuracy depends upon least count of measuring instrument. So we summarize it that lesser will be the least count, more will be the accuracy. So we should choose an instrument which has the least count, or whose least count is less, to have the more accuracy. But the students, here one thing you should note, that even if we choose right instrument for measuring, an error occur unless the instrument is used carefully and properly. This is discussed under the topic errors. Now next topic is errors. So this is an important topic. Different types of errors. First of all, what is error? The difference between the true value and the made value is called an error. Difference between true value and made value, which you get after performing the experiment. The difference between true value and made value is called an error. There are different types of errors. Number 1, constant error. Number 2, systematic error, random error and cross error. Out of these 4 errors, systematic error is further classified into four types of sub-errors. Number one, instrumental error, then environmental error, error due to observation, and error due to imperfection. Let's see each type of error one by one. The first error we're going to do is constant error. Now, what is constant error? An error which is constantly and continuously repeated during the observation is called constant error. For example, if a weight of 1 kg is judged and average to be 1.5 kg, it means you have an instrument which whenever you are going to weight a 1 kg instrument, 1 kg of an object, it will give you 1.5 kg. And if you are going to weight a 2 kg, it is going to give 2.5 kilogram. It means that there is a constant error of 500 gram. So these type of errors are called constant errors. The reason is faulty calibrations and graduations of the measuring instruments. Faulty calibration and graduation means the markings on the scales are not properly done. So to avoid, the same measurement should be made in different ways. You have to take different instrument to have the same kind of measurement. In your book, they have given an example. Constant error, error which is continuously and constantly repeated during all the observation made is called constant error. And they have taken an example. Suppose a scale reads 1.1 for every 1 centimeter. It is reading 1.1 for 1 centimeter due to wrong calibration. So this 0.1 is a constant error of this scale. To minimize, you should make measurement in different ways. Okay. Now come to the next type of error, which is systematic error. The error which is associated with faulty equipment or flawed experimental design. It means there are a number of reasons for which systematic error may occur. But one thing you should note that systematic errors can be corrected or avoided. But there are different types of systematic error. Let's see. Systematic errors are further classified into 4 types already discussed. The first error is instrumental error. What is instrumental error? Error which occurs due to defect in an instrument. Due to the defect of instrument, whatever the error you got, that is called instrumental error. How you can correct it? By performing experiment by choosing the instrument carefully and by applying the corrections. Okay, you have to choose the instrument correctly. It may be some manufacturing defect, some wrong calibrations. So while choosing the instrument, you should more careful. Okay, next is the environmental error. Environmental error is the error which occurs due to change in external conditions like humidity, temperature, wind, movement of the earth. So many reasons can be there, and these reasons may result in some kind of error which is called environmental error. So what you can do? By performing experiment in controlled condition, you can avoid the environmental error. Come to the third type of error, error due to observation. So mode of observation of the person, the error which occurs due to mode of observation of the person who is performing the experiment is called error due to observation. To explain it, let's take an example of parallax error. This is the main type of error which comes due to the mode of observation. If you remember, parallax error is the error due to the wrong positioning of our eye. Here you can see that a measuring cylinder, and if you are viewing the reading from these two positions, first position and the second position, you will get a wrong result. Why? From this point you can get a value of 19.62. From this position you will get 19.82. But the actual reading is 19.70 ml, and you get this reading only when you are keeping your eye at the correct position. Similarly, while using the screw gauge, if you are seeing from the other position, you will get a parallax error, and with the correct view you will get the correct result. Okay, the last fourth type of error is error due to imperfection. The error which occurs due to the many reasons like instrument is not used properly or experiment is not performed under proper guidelines. Such an error is called errors due to imperfection. Here I am going to discuss one more example. If we take a thermometer under the armpit instead of tongue, the temperature will always come out to be lower than the body temperature. It means there is no mistake in our thermometer, but the experiment, the way we are performing or the way we are using the thermometer is wrong or different, which results in an error which is called error due to imperfection. And how you can avoid it? By following the instructions as per the rules of the experiment. So from your book you can see that we come to the fourth type of error, error due to imperfection. So error due to imperfection of the experiment setup is called error due to imperfection. For example, whatever precaution are taken, heat is always lost from calorimetry. They have taken example of calorimetry experiment. So this error can be avoided by cooling correction method. You have to use some correction method to avoid such kind of errors. Now the next type of error is random error. It is also important type of error. The error which occur irregularly and at random in magnitude and direction are called random errors. It means you can't predict when this error is going to come and what is the reason of this kind of error. It can be occur randomly due to any reason. Such kind of errors are called random error. Let us see this random error with an example. If we take time period of a simple pendulum, so time taken for 10 oscillation is 20 seconds, which is the true value. But when we performed the experiment, we saw that from the first 10 oscillations, first time I got 20.1 second, and I know that the correct answer should be 20 second. It means there is an error of plus 0.1. Why plus? Because it is 20.1 more than, so error is plus 0.1. In the second time while I perform the experiment, I got value of 20.0. So there will be no error. Good. In the third case, I got 19.8 seconds. It means minus 2, minus 0.2 error. In the fourth one, I got 19.9, minus 0.1 is the error. In the fifth reading, I got 20.2 seconds, again plus 0.2 error. So it is randomly. I can't say every time I got a more than the 20 seconds or every time I get the less than 20 second. I got plus, minus, sometime I didn't get the error only. It means that these kind of errors are called random error. So these errors occur randomly due to variety of reasons. These errors are also called accidental errors because there is not any definite cause of their occurrence. And third point about these errors are that these cannot be predicted or controlled. So how you can avoid such kind of error? Actually you can't avoid such kind of error, but you can try and you can have a method to get a correct result whenever you got a random error. The only way to avoid such kind of error is by taking measurement a number of times. You can increase the number of time you are measuring the same reading and finding their arithmetic mean, and after getting all the results you should take a arithmetic mean. For example, in the above experiment, I will take the sum of all observations. This is 20.1 and 20.2 divided by total number of observation 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and I got the result 20. So time period of pendulum comes out to be 20 seconds for 10 oscillations. So this is the way to avoid the random error. Okay, let's see your book. So random errors, the errors which occur irregularly and at random in magnitude and direction are called random errors. This is the definition. They are not due to any definite cause, so they are also called accidental error. Okay, and to remove that or to avoid such kind of error, you have to take number of readings. Here you can see A1, A2, A3 are the number of readings, and after that you have to find its arithmetic mean. This is the formula for arithmetic mean, and this arithmetic mean is supposed to be accurate observation, and whatever the result you are going to get after performing this arithmetic mean, that will be your accurate observation. Okay, next last error is the gross error. The error caused due to the carelessness of the person are called gross errors. So gross errors occur due to different reasons, like number 1, due to the reading of the instrument wrongly. If someone is taking the wrong reading from an instrument, obviously your instrument is correct but you are taking the reading wrong, it means you got a wrong result. So this is a personal error. Number 2, due to recording of the reading wrongly. Okay, you have the right instrument, you have taken the reading correctly, but while noting it down on your copy, you are writing the wrong reading. The result will be wrong. Third reason is due to the fact that the observer has not taken all precautions necessary to avoid the errors. So these errors are also called mistakes, because these all errors occur due to the carelessness of an observer who is performing the experiment. So these are all about the errors, accuracy, precision and least count. Now you are able to answer all these questions. Number 1, what is the difference between accuracy and precision? Question number 2, what do you mean by least count of an instrument? What is its significance? Question number 3, what is an error? Question number 4, mention the causes which give rise to error during measurement of physical quantities. Question number 5, what are systematic errors and why are they called so? Question number 6, how will you rectify the systematic error? Rectify means remove or avoid. Question number 7, to which group of error do zero error, backlash error and end error in meter bridge belong? Question number 8, what are random errors? They are called accidental errors. Why? Question number 9, to avoid random errors, what should we do? And question number 10, what is meant by environmental errors? That's the end of the topic. Thank you.